It is Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. I am Ashley Pollard here for today's edition of Tuesday Talk, where we review common real estate and mortgage-related terms. Today's term is foreclosure, which is one that has been talked about a lot lately. So I wanted to define what a foreclosure is and then just give a brief overview of how the foreclosure process works. So a foreclosure is the actual act of a lender seizing a property. So this is going to occur when a borrower defaults in making their monthly payments or fails to fulfill some other mortgage obligation in their contract. In this situation, the lender is going to attempt to recoup some of the money that's owed by taking back ownership and selling the property. So a quick overview of the foreclosure process. Each month that a homeowner is late on their mortgage payments, they're going to get a notice from the bank about that. And on the third month, after 90 days, the bank is going to officially send a notice of default. At this point, the homeowner is then going to have an additional 90 days to settle whatever debts are owed, whether it's property taxes or a combination of mortgage payments, whatever it may be, before the lender's foreclosure department is then going to start the foreclosure process. So that's 6 months. The first 90 days before you get the notice of default, and then the second 90 days that you kind of have to settle the debts. You've got at least 6 months before the notice of foreclosure is put in the public record and the sheriff's sale ensues. And a sheriff's sale is just the legal proper term for an auction. So some things to know about foreclosures. One thing is that back property taxes and special assessments have first claim to the property, and the buyer pays them. So if you're the buyer, that means you're going to owe any property taxes that haven't been paid and special assessments, which are taxes that are due by the homeowner for things that are improving their real estate. So an example would be improving the streets, putting in curbs, street lights, things like that. Secondly, a sheriff's sale is going to come with the sheriff's deed, which is just a deed given at a sheriff's sale. And until that deed is given to the new homeowner, the original homeowner can redeem their property back, called the redemption period. They can get their property back if they settle all debts owed. So that's one thing to note as well with sheriff's sales. Thirdly, a foreclosure is going to negatively impact your credit score. So if you are thinking about, going through foreclosure process, just know how that's going to affect you moving forward if you ever plan to own a home again. And lastly, if the property doesn't sell at auction for some reason, the bank is going to take it back at that point, and they're going to try to make it more attractive to put it back on the market. These are the properties that are labeled REO, or real estate owned. And it might even be better to try to buy the property at that point, because the bank will try to satisfy any liens, any taxes owed, maybe bring it up to code if it's not up to code, and fix it up. But the downside is that it will be a lot more expensive than purchasing it at the auction. So you can talk through with your realtor, your attorney, your lender, what options are best for you for moving forward. And that's foreclosure. So it's kind of a really quick, brief overview of a very lengthy process. But if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will put you in touch with experts who can talk to you all about foreclosures and what they might mean for you, whether you are the buyer or you are the homeowner. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Tuesday Talk. I hope you all have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you next week.